Hey guys, it's Infinity91 and I'm bringing you a video about Sony. Now I haven't talked about Sony in a while, but a dev at Sony said something that I had to talk about. See, recently one of the PlayStation bosses basically said specs don't really matter. What he really said was specs are interesting, but that's all they are, specifications. The proof is how the games look and which games they are. You saw last night there was a great range of games, many of which are exclusive to our platform, and you will only find the PS4 Pro. Right? Now here's the thing. You can't do that. Because Sony, ever since 2006, with the PS3, has been spouting specs. They've been basically telling us how specs matter. How specs matter, because we're the best. Even last year with the PS4 Pro, they were all talking about specs. Oh, you guys don't believe me? You remember last year when the then Project Scorpio came out and they revealed it was 6 teraflops, right? What did a Sony dev do? They were trying to confuse people by saying like, well, if you split the thing in the PS4 Pro, it actually becomes 8 point something teraflops. So that showed specs did matter. Specs matter. And that's what they showed. They showed because they were trying to basically confuse people by saying, no, the PS4 Pro is still like, it can be 8 point something teraflops. You see, you can't now, just because you no longer are the leading when it comes to specs, you can't just go specs don't really matter. You really can't. Not because you've been convincing people for the longest that specs do matter. It's like if you own the car, right? Let's say you had the fastest car in existence. And for a decade, you tell your customers, you want to own this car because it's the fastest car in existence. It can get you from point A to point B in the fastest time. Speed is all that matters. Speed matters. And then, all of a sudden, another company after a decade comes and makes a car that is 0.5 times faster than your car. And you're like, speed doesn't really matter. It's the quality, it's the quality. Speed isn't everything. Yeah, you're going to look like what you are. Being like you're just changing your story, pulling a 180 just because you no longer are the leader in that particular field. Yeah, so it's just, to me, like, I'm not saying that, I understand Sony's a business and they're going to say what tries to make them money. They can't really say to be the most powerful console in the market anymore. And it seems like they're trying to tell their fans that they told in the past, specs. No, specs, no. Don't worry about that too much. Don't worry about that too much now. Because we're not the leaders anymore. I'm not hating on Sony, but what I'm saying is that after telling people for years, basically for over a decade, that specs matter, you can't pull a 180 like this. People are going to see it. It's very blatant. You can't all of a sudden just be like, specifications aren't as important anymore. You just can't. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about Sony? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and may God bless you all.